Hello guys, welcome. Today we are going to start with the JavaScript. So for the JavaScript you might be having a knowledge of HTML and a CSS. So today we'll begin with the JavaScript session 1. So today we are going to see these are the topics we are going to study today about scripting, JavaScript, some built-in functions and event handling. Now, first of all, what is an scripting? A scripting refers to a series of commands that are interpreted and executed sequentially and immediately on occurrences of an event. The action may be when user is clicking a page, when user clicks a button, selects a menu, selects from a drop down, and so on. So scripting language refers to a set of instructions that provide some functionality when a user interacts with a web page, and often embedded in the HTML page to change the behavior of the web pages based on the user requirements. So maybe for example, let's say you are going for online shopping. You select a product. As soon as you select a product, the items in the cart is added. So that is just dynamic interaction using a scripting language. So scripting language may be of two types: client-side scripting and server-side scripting. Client-side scripting is executed on the client machine in a browser. Server-side scripting is executed on the server side, on the server machine. So the client-side scripting may be the JavaScript that is executed on the client machine. Server-side scripting refers to the that executes on the server side, maybe the PHP, ASP, JSP, Ruby, and so on. So we'll start with the client-side scripting language, JavaScript. A JavaScript is a scripting language that allows building dynamically web pages and ensuring maximum user interactivity. A JavaScript is an object-based language where we are going to use the object with a specific functionalities. In real life, an object is a visible entity such as a car or a table having some characteristics performing a certain actions. Similarly, the scripting language, an object has a unique identity, state and behavior. The state of the object refers to its characteristics, whereas the behavior refers to its actions. The object stores its identity and state is field and exposes its behavior through functions, that is actions. The actions, functionality, behavior. So let's say for example, a card is an object with identity is its number plate. For example, UBA 057C AXA43C. State maybe this color, number of wheels, steering, engine number. Behavior is running, driving. Another object may be a table, identity the table number, state the color of the table, number of legs in the table, the behavior may be stable. So for the uses of the JavaScript, to implement a JavaScript in a web page, we use the script tag. A script tag defines a script of an HTML page to make them interactive. The browser that supports script interprets and executes the script specified under the script tag when the page loads in the browser. You can directly insert a JavaScript code using the script tag. You can define multiple script tags within the head or even in the body tag, even the body element of the HTML page. In HTML5, the type attribute specifying the scripting language is no longer required, it's optional. So just you use the script and you continue on in the HTML5. The code is just you write an script within the head tag or within the body even, and you close the script, and you can use document.write. We're talking about is an object based language. So document is an object. So object.write is going to write a message, print a message on the document, on the web page. The two main purposes of the script tag are identify a given statement, a given segment of script in the HTML page, loads an external script file. Now, declaring a variable. A variable refers to a symbolic name that holds a value and keeps on changing. A variable is a value in the memory location that keeps on changing. For example, the name of the student, the age of the student, salary of an employee. In the JavaScript, a variable is a unique location in the computer memory that stores a value and has a unique name. The name of the variable is used to access and read the value stored in it. A variable can store multiple types of data, such as a character, a number, a string, or a Boolean value. To declare a variable in JavaScript, we use var keyword. Var preceded by the variable name. So we use var and the variable name. That is how we declare a variable. And to initialize a value, we can use var variable name is equal to value, or maybe we can declare and then we can initialize. Var variable name is equal to value, comma, supposed to be the next variable is equal to value. So the var keyword can be used for creating an integer value, for creating a string value, for creating a character value, for creating a Boolean value, and so on. So just for example, var variable name, var variable name. The variable name is stud id, is initialize a value. Stud name initialized a value. Or we can even write like var stud name the variable, stud age 15. So stud name will act as a string variable and stud age will act as a integer variable depending on the value that is being stored. Now, JavaScript has two methods to write the data into the browser, that is write and write-ln. Write displays any data and write-ln displays any data appends in a new line, but this we cannot see this effect now. So mainly, so how we can write a message or data into the page? Write document.write, it's supposed to be message that you want to print, plus is the symbol that we use for concatenation between a variable and your message. So let's see an example. Now this is an HTML page. In this page I have just declared a script tag start and script tag close within the head tag, within the head element. So within the script element, within the script, I have declared a var name, that is Peter, var age 25. So this is act as an integer, var is registered true. So now this is supposed to be a Boolean value, Boolean variable. So we use document.write name, a message, the data, plus concatenate with the name variable, that is a Peter. Age, concatenate with the age variable. I used br. You know, in HTML we use br tag to break the line. Similarly, I used br so that age should be displayed in the next page, next line. Then registered, concatenate with is registered. This is how we used. Now let's run this and see the effect. It's showing name, the message, the data, and the variable Peter. Age, the data, and the variable 25. Registered, true. Value, the variable value is true. So I'll share these examples in the link just below. Now coming back to the next, comment. Now to write a comment in a page, we can use a single line. For the single line comment, we can just use 2 forward slashes to insert a single line comment. So even you can see I have used the comment here, declaring a string variable with double forward slash. You want to write a comment and the comment won't execute. So browser identifies that comment and marked as a comment. For the multiple line comment, you can use forward slash, asterisk, and to end the comment you can use asterisk forward slash. So you can see I have used the multiple line comment. Write method is used to print. So this is 1 line, 2 line, and at the end of the comment, at the end where you want to end your comment line, just enter an asterisk preceded by the forward slash. I hope it's okay. Now let's see some built-in functions in the JavaScript. What is a function? A function is a piece of code that performs some actions on variables to fulfill a specific task. It takes one or more input values, processes them, and returns an output value. So let's say some built-in functions. Alert. It displays a dialog box with some information and OK button. So let's say successfully registered. You want to give an alert box, alert message, or please fill the requirement, please fill your form, some messages. So you can use the alert box. Alert, within the parenthesis preceded with the double quotes, you write your message that you want to display in the message box. Confirm function. Confirm function, let's say you want to cancel, you want to delete something, you just want to confirm. Are you sure you want to close this page? Are you sure you want to leave this page? Next is parse int. Parse int will parse the value, will just convert a value into an integer, even it's contain the string. For example, parse int, you asking the user enter your age. He has entered 25 years. But even though he has entered 25 years, I'll just accept 25 because I have parsed, I have converted this data into an int, into an integer. Parse float, same, it will convert a string value to a float, to a decimal. Float means a decimal. Eval, eval is used for evaluation and returns a result. Will be adding 2 numbers, will subtract 2 numbers, some evaluations, some calculations. Next function is nan. Nan means not a number. It just check whether it is a number or not. So now, is nan hello? Is hello a number? It says not a number. Is hello is not a number? True, it's not a number, it's true. Now prompt. Prompt displays a dialog box that accepts an input value through a text box. It also accepts a default value for the text box. Like you can accept a name through the prompt box, you accept the age, you accept some values. So I'll demonstrate one example. So Here you can see I have used the script tag var value. I didn't initialize anything, it's a blank. Now I used var1, it's a variable where I am accepting enter first value. This is the message going to be there. Enter first value to perform the multiplication operation, and it will ask me the value. Var num1, enter second value to perform the multiplication operation. So I need to perform the second variable, so I need to enter the second value. Again I'll store in the value, and after storing in the value it will be stored into the num2. And there is a variable called result which will eval we just saw. Eval is used for evaluation. Eval num1 multiplied by num2. This is stored in the num1, this variable is stored in num2, and they'll perform the multiplication. After multiplication is stored in the result. I used document.write to print. It will print the result of multiplying concatenate with the value num1. The user entered number 1 value, and what he entered number 2 value is the result. Maybe he entered 5, the first number, second number 4, so 5 into 4, that is 20. So let's run this file. Enter the first value, so let's say first value is 25. Next value I pressed 5, I also pressed A. So it's showing me the result of multiplication of num1. Number 1 was 25, next number was 5A, which is in string, and you cannot multiply a number with the string, so it says NaN, not a number. So why this error came? Because I entered a string in the, including a number. With the number I also entered a string. So what I need to do is, let's parse int, convert. We just saw parse int. So I'll parse this. After accepting the value, I'm just going to parse this. After just accepting the value from the user, even though it contains a string, I'll parse to an integer. So after saving this, now let's run this. Enter a number, let's say 25s. Next number, let's say 5a. But just you see 25s, s has been excluded, it has been removed, it has converted to 25. 5a converted to 5. So parse int will just convert to an int, and now you can see the result. Even you can find out this example in the link. Let's go to the now next. Now event. What is an event? So the use of scripting is an event. We use for event handling the actions from the user. An event occurs when the user interacts with the web page. When you click on the submit button, when you interact with the mouse, when you select a drop down, some event is being processed. The process of handling those events is called an event handling. The event may be when user click a button. When user clicks a certain button, that means a button event is raised. A click of the button event is raised. A event handling is a process of specifying actions, any actions, to be performed when event occurs. It is done by using an event handler. An event handler is a scripting code or a function that defines the action to be performed when the event is triggered. When an event occurs, an event handler function that is associated with the specific event is invoked. An event object is a built-in object which can be accessed through window object. It specifies the event state. including such as location of the mouse cursor, when you move your mouse cursor, event on which an event occurred, element on which the event occurred, the state of the key or in the keyboard, that is also an event state. Let's say when you press a key, an event is raised and the event handler handle that events. So the event may be for the keyboard for certain actions, on key pressed, on key release, maybe for mouse on key down, on key up, mouse click, double click, multiple events for the mouse, for the keyboard. The focus event determine the activation of the various elements that uses the elements. It allows the user to set or reset the focus for different elements. The selection occurs when an event or a part of the element within a web page is selected. So let's say what are the events for the focus and selection. Maybe on focus. That means when a text box or any element, any control have the focus. On blur, when you come to the next, when you leave that text box. So that means when we select the text box, on focus. When you leave that, when you come out from the text box, on blur. On selected start, so occurs when the selection of the element starts. On select occurs when a present selection changes. On drag start occurs when the selected element is moved. Just I'll show you an example using the mouse event, anvil, and even including the on focus, on blur. Let's see one example. I'll show something like this example. Let's see an example. Third example. Now in this example, I have just designed a page, a form that contains the name, age and email. Contains the name, age and email. And there is a one button, and I use the image for that. Image, the ID, I used some ID name. The width of that image, this is the image source. Now on mouse down is an one event of the mouse. So that means when I press the mouse key down, when I use the mouse left button down, so when I use down, it's going to call the show image. Now what is a show image? So I'll show you here. We use the function to create any function in JavaScript. To create any function, we use function and the function name. Function space the function name that you want to create. I just named as show image. You can name anything. Show image, I use two arguments, object and URL. The object specifies you want and for which object, for button, for text box, for which object, and URL of an image. So object.src is URL. So whatever the URL, it will be passed. It will set the source, the src for this object. Coming down, so that means I passed this. This means current instance. This keyword represents current instance. So which object? This object. That means this image object. And the source is images. Within the images folder, there is register.jpg image. There is a folder called images and there is a image called register.jpg within this folder. When I press down, this image will be changed. When I press mouse up, when I release the mouse, when I leave the mouse, show image. I'll call the show image. The object is this and URL. The object is this and the URL, again the URL is images submit.png. That means the same image source that was earlier. So when I release the mouse, it will be back to its normal image, back previous image. On click, when I click this, it will call the form FRM reservation. It's just an option, you can leave this part. It's just an optional, you can leave this part. It's like registration.submit method. No use in this currently I'm not using this one. That means when I click this, I use the form ID reservation, the submit function will occur. So for the time being, I'm not using it here. Now, I also used on focus and on blur for the text box. For I've created one function name show style. You can name it anything. I just named as show style. Show style, it takes one argument field. So whatever the argument passed here, field dot style background color, I set a color for that background. Then another function hide style, one argument field dot style dot background color, this is the background color. So now for this text box on focus, that means when this text box is selected, show style function will be called. Which function? This function. Which field? Current field. I told you this means current. So for this field, this dot style dot background color will change to this color. On blur, that means when I leave this text box, when I come out, hide style, this again, which field? Current field. Which field? Current field. This means current. So this dot style dot background color, the background color will change to this color. So the same thing I did for the other text boxes as well. Let's run this file. So you can see when I on focus, color changed. On blur, back to its normal color. On focus, the color changed. On blur, back to its normal color. That is the on focus, on blur. And this is on mouse down, on mouse up. So on mouse down, the image changed to this. When I release the mouse, on mouse up, back to its normal image. I hope this example was clear. You can find this example in the link given below. Thank you. In case of any questions, any doubt, you can write in the comment box. So today we discussed the session 1 of JavaScript. Soon you will find out the session 2 video in the upcoming days. Thank you. Keeps watching.